What's going on? So I understand that, the concept of working out every day and getting a morning routine and getting in the best shape can be overwhelming for some. So in my process of doing my videos, I'm also going to go on a diet and drop 20 pounds. I weighed in at 245 this morning. It's August 18th. So 20 pounds from 245 is what? 225. So the goal is 225, and I'm gonna try to do that in 8 weeks. So every video, I'm gonna give you guys an update of my journey while I'm giving out my tips. So just follow me, and we're gonna do this together. All right.
Welcome to the channel. This is Boyz II Men. You see the thumbnail, and today I want to talk to you guys about why I stopped drinking and smoking. But for you to understand why I stopped, I need to tell you why I began. So my mother died when I was 13 years old. I had to move to a whole different segment, a whole different area, and become a whole different person. The man that I was, or the kid that I wasn't acceptable where I was at. As a child, I played with Digimon, Pokemon. I got bullied. I just didn't have no backbone. I was just a nice pushover little bitch-ass boy. So when my mom died, I had to move. I got my first 40. I got in my first fight, and I got my first 40 after the fight. I got punched in the head, and I got a 40. When I drank that 40, something happened inside of me. And I remember becoming a different person inside. And I liked it. So that's when I started my journey of alcoholism, 13 years old. When I smoked my first joint, I became more creative. And that's when I became a pothead at about 15 years old. So 15 years old, already made up my mind. I'm drinking, I'm smoking, fuck school. The reason why I say fuck school is because when I moved with my auntie, I wanted to show my grades. So I had a 3.5 grade point average without trying. And my cousin had all F's. And she's like, Randall, please throw your report card away and help me get it out of the mailbox. Because they give you a copy and send one to the mailbox. So I don't get grounded. So that day was the day I decided, fuck school, 8th grade. So the person that you can become with alcohol is a whole different person. You lose your morale, you lose your ability to make good decisions. And for the most part, you're like everyone else. My mind is different. I've always been different. And when I drink, I numb that difference away, and I'm the same. I'm just like everyone else, and I fit in. And I was a likable fucking person. And that's the main reason why I drink so long. I numbed myself away, and I just did one or two things, and that was it. My brain stopped thinking. When you're numb all the time, you don't use your fucking brain. You don't use your capabilities. So there's a difference between enjoying a drink and drinking daily to live life. And I see a lot of guys making the decision to drink and smoke to be a different person. They become a different person. They get out of their shell. Instead of working on their speaking skills, they drink to drink. They drink to speak. They drink to be around people. They drink to have fun. Instead of just working on that and becoming that person. If you want to attract friends, you have to become the person that attracts friends. If you want to attract women, you have to become that man. So a lot of us use alcohol and weed as a scapegoat to do stupid shit. Oh, well, I was drunk. Well, I was drunk. Well, I was drunk. Damn, I was high. I was high. So that's a little background on why I began drinking, why I began smoking, and why I said fuck school. I'm at work right now. I'm about to leave to get a haircut, and I'm going to keep talking about this subject because it's very dear to my heart, and I do want to help steer guys away from that lifestyle. Someone canceled their appointment, so I'm going to go get my teeth cleaned, and then I'm going to go get a haircut. But I want to tell you guys why I stopped drinking. So the reason why I stopped drinking is at 26, I was just going down a really bad path with my health. I was overweight, cholesterol was like 350, and my lymph nodes were swollen. So they had to cut me open to take one out to see what it was. And I remember going through that surgery, God, if you let me stay alive and not give me cancer, because lymphomia or whatever the fuck that shit's called, that's what I thought I had. If you not give me cancer, I swear to God, I'm gonna change. So I went through surgery and come to find out I have an autoimmune disease called sarcoidosis, but it wasn't cancer. So it lit a flame under my ass, and I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, and I started getting in shape and, trying to teach the world how to get in shape. How I'm doing these videos, I was doing fitness, I was doing Herbalife, and I was just trying to help everyone find what I found, because like it was just so amazing, like being sober and using all of my brain cells and all that other shit. It was just amazing. I just wanted to share it with so many people, because literally alcohol and anything that changes the way you think hinders your development. You don't know why you're here on this earth. It's very hard to find your purpose when you're high, drunk, intoxicated, or doing other drugs. Like, it's hard to know what you're here for if you're always drunk. So when I removed that, I started to, experiment with different things. Because mind you, I've been drunk since I was 13 years old. The only thing I ever did good was rap. The only thing. And when I gave up music and I started doing fitness, I started trying to give that information to the world. Because it's amazing to use your whole brain. And I stopped giving a fuck what people thought about me. Like, I don't have any friends because I don't fit in. But it's cool because the friends I do have are for a lifetime. Because there are people that think the same way I think. And there are people that want to be better and want to develop themselves. So me being sober, and I got sober 2012. And it was the best 5 years of my life. But then something happened. Gotta get my grill clean real quick. 2017, I went through a divorce and my life went like this. I went backwards and I started drinking and I lost custody of my kids. So you probably wonder how I got lost custody of my kids from drinking, and I got DUIs. So I got 3 DUIs in 1 year, and I was doing real bad. I went through a little hoe phase. I wasn't being a concerned parent. That's the truth. I just was more being selfish to myself and trying to get as many chicks as I could, and kind of lost. I feel like I lost hope. I'm about to pull up to the barbershop and get cut real quick. Love a fresh cut. So I lost hope and I got really depressed. And that's when I decided to just change, man. I quit drinking. I got on my grind, started working 2 jobs, and that's how I found my purpose, which is, doing, self-helping, giving people the tools to become better. I truly feel like this is my purpose, and I'm going with it. So I had to get my life together in order to do this. Like, I came up with this idea in 2020, but man, I was fresh off of house arrest. Like, who am I to fucking start trying to get you guys when I'm barely fucking free? So I wanted to fucking really grind on my life. So from 2020 until this year, I grinded hard on my life. And, the last step was stepping back on stage and bodybuilding. I'm like, all right, look, you done fixed this, you got sober, you done did this, It's time for you to go compete. You're a fucking bodybuilder, Randall, go back. And I competed, and I got first place, and I used that momentum to continue to post, because I kind of I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got really discouraged with everything. Like, I gave up on so many things, and I was just like worried about what people would think. Like, oh, look at this motherfucker, 3 DUIs trying to tell that. And then when I competed and I won, I was like, I'm back, bitches. It's Britney, bitch. Nah, but it gave me what I needed to be here today. That was the last thing, and here I am, sober, and I don't want to fucking drink. Like, if I can go to a different country, then I'll have a shot there. But I gotta celebrate by getting, that's gonna be a celebrational thing. I'm not where I want to be, so there's no room for alcohol or anything that can alter your mind. Like, altering your mind slows you down. I know people who can drink great, like they have a couple of drinks and they're fucking good, relax, whatever. And I know motherfuckers that kill the whole bottle. If you one of them motherfuckers that buy a bottle and you finish it that night, you shouldn't be drinking. If you can buy a bottle and it lasts you 2-3 weeks, then I'm not talking to you. You're responsible and you're about your business. But I know motherfuckers that go buy a bottle and they drink the whole thing that night. Like, nah, man. Life is too short and there's too much work to be done. Ain't no one where they need to be. Like, everyone has room to improve. You see LeBron James slowing down. You see Michael Jordan slowing down. You see 50 Cent slowing down. All these motherfuckers keep going. And people be like, oh, well, if I had money, I would. No, you wouldn't, because you can't do it when you're broke. If you can't do it when you're broke, you can't do it when you're rich, because you ain't gonna get rich if you can't do it when you're broke. Rewind that shit. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys 6 ways to stop drinking, to stop any vice, basically. I'm gonna give you 6 tips, 6 ways of what I did right now. We gonna get it.
All right, so the first step that you have to do is you have to admit that you have a fucking vice. A lot of times we're in denial. Like, oh, I mean, I was in denial for the longest. I'd be like, I'm only 23 years old. Like, how can I be an alcoholic when I'm only 23? Like, you don't start drinking until you're 21. Well, Randall, when did you start drinking? 13. Exactly, motherfucker, you got a problem. And you guys just got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say that you have an issue, you have a problem. That's the only way you're ever going to try to fix it and address it. If you're in denial about the situation, you'll never take the time and the energy to address the situation and to try to make it better. So you have to admit that you have a vice or you have a problem.
So the second tip I can give you guys on how to stop drinking is to have a powerful why. You have to have a meaningful why, something to push you and drive you when things get hard. So my why, my family, my children, and that's powerful enough for me. It's kept me sober for 2 years. So when you guys are noticing that you have a problem and you want to stop that problem, why? Like, it can't be because I want my parents say so, my girls are nagging me to quit. It can't be that. It's not powerful enough. Because if you break up with that person, if you leave your parents, you're gonna drink. You have to have a why that only you can harness. So it has to be like my health, or because I'm sluggish and I'm slow, or because I fucked up this day, I hurt this person. Like, just any type of why that you can harness when things get hard to continue on your process of being sober.
Another tip is to just take it one day at a time. One day at a time. That's it.
Like she said, take it one day at a time. You have to realize that this is a journey and not a destination. And you might make mistakes, but it doesn't mean you quit and you go all out. You know, it's just like following a diet. If you messed up and eat a Snicker, it doesn't mean you go to the buffet and say, fuck it. You messed up and you just keep going. So take it one day at a time and use your environment as energy. Like, you know, I'm always in the gym because this is where, you know, you can't drink in here, can you? No. And there's other places where you can use to your advantage. So just take it one day at a time, and remember, this is a journey and a destination. So the fourth tip I want to give you guys is to remove certain people and distractions. So it's like your drinking crew or your smoking crew or the crew that you hang out with that you were, you know, engaging in those activities with, you're gonna have to take a break from them because it's really hard to make change when you're in the same environment. You know, a lot of people can't create the change that they need because they never leave the environment. It's like, for instance, if you get out of jail, you go back to the same house, you're more than likely to end up back in jail because you're in the exact same environment. But if you get out of jail and you move across the country, you're more than likely to stay out of jail because you're in a new environment with new people, and that change is different. A lot of times people don't like change, and you know, some people will try to peer pressure you, make fun of you. You just gotta remove those people. Remove yourself from that environment.
During the process of recording this video, I became sick with the C word. My kids brought that shit home. But I'm still gonna drop on Monday, so I'm gonna finish this shit. The fifth tip I want to give you guys is to reach out and get therapy. You know, I think therapy is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not utilized correctly. Like, people think that you have to be like so troubled or going through like the worst situations in the world to get therapy. But having someone you can talk to is very, very valuable, and it can get you on the right track. I've done therapy multiple times. Never had a therapist like, you know, for years on, but like when I needed to get through something, I'd go see a therapist for like a week just to get guidance and to express how I feel, so that way I can like move forward. Sometimes you can't move forward without talking to someone, and if you don't have close friends that you feel comfortable talking to, and sometimes it's just better to talk to a fucking stranger, to be honest with you. So if you're going through a situation and you're depending on vices to get through it, that just numbs you. Like, that is not the solution. And alcohol is a depressant. It is a depressant, sorry. So don't be afraid to seek therapy. Most in health insurances do provide that. Like, it might take you a long time to get through it. And to be honest with you, I think my therapist was $150 for an hour. It was the best $150 because when I got these worksheets and I got through it. That's all that matters, is that I'm here today telling you guys that it worked. Okay, and the last tip is to stop drifting. A lot of times we get complacent in life, and we pick up the bottle and other things to get through the days. Sometimes we don't like being our own self. We don't like being at home. I used to have to drink to go home. Like, when I was in my first marriage, I used to stop at a bar, have a couple beers just to get home because I was so miserable. So if you find yourself in that situation, you got to pursue something. And if the people around you don't want you to excel, or they're putting all this stuff in front of you, then you got to leave that environment. Like I said in the other tip, your distractions in your environment. Alcohol is a depressant. So if you're already sad and miserable, alcohol is just going to make you more sad and more miserable. But in the time of while you're doing it, it's going to make you feel good. And that's why we do it. We feel better for a little bit of time. But I'm telling you right now, you're just going to be wasting your time. You're not going to get nowhere. Do not drift. Drifting is when you're not in pursuit of something, trying new things, developing yourself. You are drifting away your time and your mind. And eventually, it'll catch up to you. So if you made it this far, please subscribe. My name is Randall Burden. This is the Boys to Men channel. My intent is to help young men become the best version of themselves by teaching them how to become the person that attracts what they seek. Next week, I won't be sick, so hopefully we'll be out in the gym and doing other cool shit. I just still want to not do what I set out to do. Deadlines are very important, and I told you guys every Monday, so I'm going to keep it every Monday until I say otherwise. So next time, same place, whatever. I'm losing my mind right now. I'll get back to you.